What's going on, guys? Right with Northwest Strings. I just wanted to start off the video by saying if you guys like the shirt that I'm wearing in this video, definitely check out ShazamShockApparel.com. It's a small clothing company ran by a couple of my friends that I make some pretty cool videos on the internet with. I don't know if you guys probably wouldn't have seen them, but if you want to check out those videos, I'll put a link to their YouTube and their website in the description, so that you can pick up some sweet shirts like this. I know they're very comfortable and they're pretty tight. So check that out, and now we're going to get into the real video. What's going on, guys? We're out of Northwest Strings, and today I just wanted to review my Surgeon 10 500. One of the newest heads from STX. It's a revamp on the Surgeon 10, and they definitely changed a lot. They definitely improved a lot of things, and there are a couple things I wish they wouldn't have done. But I'm just going to talk about the things that I like about the head and whatnot, because that's how you do a review. So basically what I like about it is, of course, I love the face shape. I'm a big fan of the really narrow flared heads that are really narrow and pinched, and then they just kind of flare out at the top. Like CEOs, the Nike CEO is probably top 3 one of my favorite heads out right now. And the Surgeon 10 is definitely up there with it. I don't know what the order of that top 3 is, but there's not really an order. I mean, I don't really like any heads better than others. I just kind of like I said, the narrow and then the flare. I like how they added a bunch of holes. I mean, there's still not as many as I would like. There's like 15, I think, which is I think as many as the Superpower. I would like to see like 18. But that's just me. There's still, you can string anything you want. I mean, there's still enough holes to string any pocket you want and get really nice pockets. That's just a personal preference, kind of a nitpicky thing that I like with heads. And but the holes are really nice. The top ones are kind of wide, but you have no problem with it. I had to wrap around a few times. I think you can see that. Wrapped around 3 times, but that's just a precaution that I take. Just because I've had knots slip through. Yeah, and the ACP technology, I know there was some trouble with it in the old Surgeon 10, but this seems to work really well. I mean, I know people use it on the East Coast where it's really hot, but I was using it outside playing wall ball the other day, and didn't feel like the head was any different than it was when I was playing inside. And the other day when I was playing wall ball, it was probably like 12 degrees outside, so it's getting pretty cold, and should probably stay inside. And another thing that I like is like the overall look of it. They just made it look nicer, added some nice design aspects, just some different textures, some ridges, little patterns like that. Yeah, that looks nice. It looks nice. But getting into the things I don't like, probably the scoop is one of the things I don't like. It's really pointed and really curved, which is supposed to make it so that the channel's a lot tighter, and it definitely does that. Definitely makes this head really easy to channel. And I mean, it's nice, but it's kind of difficult to pick up ground balls. I mean, it's not something that's like it completely alters the way you pick up ground balls. It's just you have to get a little lower and kind of, you know, do the fundamentals, which is good. It's a great thing, but I mean, you don't always have time to run through the fundamentals in a game. You don't always have time to, you know, get down and get under it. Sometimes you just have to scoop it up one-handed. Scoop it up. I don't recommend you do it one-handed, but, you know, sometimes you have to. Yeah, so the scoop kind of makes it hard. And another thing with the scoop I don't like is how it's ridged like that. I just don't see the purpose for it. I don't see anything like that. But the cool part about the ridge is that it kind of has a different texture, so you can see it says Surgeon in there. I thought that was really cool. And it has 500. Oh, focus. Yeah, it has 500 like engraved in there, which is cool. I actually overall like this head. It's definitely one of my favorite heads right now. Like I said before, super easy to string, and I mean, you don't really have to pull down too far to get a nice channel. I mean, I only have 2 pull down knots in here, and I think they're anchor knots, yeah. And no, not even. I just have 1. Yeah, I just have 1 pull down knot in this. And it's for those of you stringing the Sturgeon 10 500. I'm going to give you the pattern because this is a pretty nice mid pocket, and this is with Mesa mesh, one of my favorite meshes out right there. One of my favorite meshes out right now as far as wax mesh goes. Got a pretty nice mid pocket going to it, not a lot of whip, with a decent channel. It's a pretty nice channel actually, in my opinion. But I know this head's kind of tough to string, just kind of tough to find a normal pattern for it. I know most people like myself are used to pulling down the first 3 mesh holes pretty tightly, but you can't really, well, you can do that with this head, but it's a lot harder to do with this head just because the flare is so high. So if you pull down, you're going to be pulling the channel super tight to where it's not going to release the ball. And a part of that is due to that pointed scoop that channels, that really, it like brings the whole curve of the head like this, so that when you pull the mesh down, it pulls the mesh down really tightly. So I'm going to give you guys a pattern for this. It's a 9 diamond top string through the 2nd hole. I never really used the 1st hole of any head, unless I just never really used the 1st hole. There's no real unless to that. I just never really used the 1st hole. So the pattern is skip the 1st hole, top string through the 2nd, tie on 3rd, skip knot, skip into a 1, and then do a 1. So there's that skip 1, and then a 1, 2, a 1, a 1, and a 1, and then a skip 1 tie off at the bottom. And then I just did a 9 diamond bottom string. And that will give you this really decent mid pocket with not a lot of whip, just enough to get some nice power on your shots, but still have a really smooth release. And yeah, so overall I give this head a 9 out of 10 just because I like it a lot. A lot of people don't really like narrow flared heads, but I'm a big fan of them. Gonna be reviewing the Nike CEO next, and yeah, so check out for that. I'm posting a lot of videos today, and I know I say that on a lot of my videos, but I'm really gonna be doing it today. Another thing I like, just remember this, is that the bottom string holes are like dug out. I just feel like it protects it a little more, keeps those from breaking, and it'll give if this were a low pocket, it'd give the ball a nice place to sit. But yeah, so definitely check this out. I definitely recommend you pick up this head if you're thinking of trying it. I recommend it more for like attackman and middies, but I definitely would recommend it for LSM and defense if you want to try it. It's all preference, it's what you're into, so definitely check it out if you're into it. Yeah, watch my other videos.